how's the education going as far as spreading awareness, and how well are we doing really on being able to recognize this from a psychological standpoint and I guess diagnosing properly, right?
So
do you think that we're making headway there?
I think that descriptively speaking, like you mentioned Dr. Romney, who does an amazing job describing the characteristics of these different clusters or types of narcissism, if we could call it that.
Right.
I would just say which characteristics predominate. You remember, because remember I said even the most grandiose, like a Tony Soprano, also has the vulnerable piece, right?
Right.
So in that sense, wonderful. I think we're doing a wonderful job. People on social media are doing a wonderful job describing it. What I think is lacking is a good, strong theory to why they behave this way that goes beyond, well, you had a traumatic upbringing and your parent was neglectful or abusive. That stuff doesn't really help. When you're with somebody and you reconstruct their childhood, they're kind of like, all right, how's that supposed to help me when my wife is attacking me, right? So I think the place where we need to do a little bit more would be better sort of underlying theories. And here's the main thing, which you rarely ever hear in any of the content, is what's the treatment approach? Aside from journaling and creating boundaries, which drives me crazy, by the way, because it's such a superficial intervention. Right. How can we really intervene in a way if we have that interest in terms of keeping people together, if they want to stay together, or if they do separate, being able to get out of that fantasy, right? So they could not replicate or reenact this in their future relationships. So I think that's the part that's sorely missing, is the intervention and treatment part beyond creating boundaries, journaling.